Hi, and thank you for visiting my channel. For more information, kindly subscribe and follow. Now let's get started.
Dominik Mysterio shattered Rhea Ripley's heart into a million pieces when he aligned with Liv Morgan at WWE SummerSlam 2024. However, Dirty Dom stated there was another instance where he could have done it when he heard the name of the Terror Twins. The Terror Twins, Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley, often used the nickname on social media as the two shared a sibling-like bond coming up together in the industry. However, it became the proper name for the duo when they got booted out of the Judgment Day at the biggest party of the summer in Ohio. In an interview on Cheap Heat, Dominik Mysterio stated he wasn't a fan of the Terror Twins and didn't want to break Mommy's heart over a stupid name. The second-generation star expressed that he was blinded by love and didn't want to address the name. When you're blinded by love, like you said, I don't want to hurt Mommy's feelings. She had her little thing with her friend. So, I was like, you don't want to ruin it. It makes them feel special and I didn't want to take it away from them. I don't really care. It's stupid what it is, Mysterio said. From 1 to 118, Dominik Mysterio could end up in front of Rhea Ripley at WWE Bash in Berlin earlier this year. Dominik Mysterio stumbled upon a new love interest in Rhea Ripley's absence from the Stamford-based company. Liv Morgan followed the second-generation star for weeks before he finally succumbed to her advances. However, the moment was interrupted by a returning mommy on WWE Raw. After weeks of chase, Rhea Ripley got a shot at the title. However, Dominik Mysterio changed sides and aligned with Liv Morgan during the clash for the gold. Later, Damian Priest and Mommy were replaced with Carlito and the Women's World Champion in the Judgment Day. The Terror Twins are set to face the Judgment Day's Dominik Mysterio and Liv Morgan in a mixed tag team match. There's a high chance Mommy will be in the ring with Dirty Dom and could make him pay for his heinous crimes. Dominik Mysterio found himself in a position he never imagined. After months of being a member of the Judgment Day, his connection with Rhea Ripley had grown stronger than anything he'd ever experienced before. The two had formed a bond that extended far beyond the ring, something deeper, more personal, and undeniably real. But as their relationship deepened, so did the whispers. Fans, fellow wrestlers, and even some of their closest friends began to talk, wondering if the pair was more than just teammates. Rumors swirled, fueled by the duo's undeniable chemistry and the way they seemed inseparable, both on and off screen. It wasn't long before the wrestling world came up with a moniker for their partnership, Dom Dom and Mommy. What was intended to be a fun, endearing nickname quickly became a hot topic of conversation. But while the world debated whether they were just friends or something more, Dominik found himself increasingly uneasy. He didn't mind the spotlight. Dominik was born into wrestling royalty, after all, but this was different. The name carried a weight that went beyond playful banter. It hinted at something deeper, something Dominik wasn't sure he was ready to face. And worst of all, it put Rhea in a vulnerable position. He knew how strong Rhea was, both in and out of the ring. She was fearless, confident, and had a presence that could shake even the most seasoned veterans. But Dominik also knew that behind that powerful exterior was someone who had let him into her life, shared her vulnerabilities, and trusted him in ways few others had. The name was supposed to be a joke, a harmless bit of fun. But to Dominik, it felt like a betrayal. How could he let the world put a label on something so special, so personal? The thought of hurting Rhea, of damaging what they had built together, weighed heavily on his mind. He didn't want to break her heart, especially not over something as trivial as a nickname. The tension between them grew as the name spread like wildfire. Dominik could see the confusion in Rhea's eyes every time someone mentioned it, and it tore him apart. She would laugh it off in public, playing along like the seasoned performer she was, but Dominik could tell it bothered her. They had never talked about it, neither wanted to admit that it was affecting them. But it was there, a shadow hanging over their once carefree connection. One night, after a particularly grueling match, Dominik and Rhea found themselves alone in the locker room. The air was thick with unspoken words as they sat side by side, the adrenaline of the night still coursing through their veins. Dominik knew this was the moment. He couldn't keep it in any longer. Rhea, he began, his voice barely more than a whisper. She looked at him, her eyes searching as for answers. Yeah, Dom, she asked, sensing the seriousness in his tone. He hesitated, trying to find the right words. I need to talk to you about something. Something that's been bothering me. Rhea's expression softened as she nodded, urging him to continue. Dominik took a deep breath, the words tumbling out before he could stop them. It's about that name. Dom and Mommy. I know it's just a joke, but it's been eating at me. I don't want people to label us, to make assumptions about what we have. I don't want to hurt you, Rhea. The last thing I want is to break your heart over something so stupid. Rhea stared at him, her usual tough exterior cracking just a little. She could see the sincerity in his eyes, the fear that he might have already done damage. It was then that she realized how much he cared, how much he truly valued their bond. Dominik, she said softly, placing a hand on his shoulder. You could never break my heart. What we have is ours, and no nickname, no joke, is going to change that. Dominik felt a wave of relief wash over him, but Rhea wasn't done. She leaned in closer, her voice firm but gentle. I get why you're worried. I do. But we can't control what people say. All we can do is be true to ourselves, to what we have. Let them talk. It doesn't change who we are. Her words were like a balm to his troubled mind. For the first time in weeks, Dominik felt like he could breathe again. He had been so caught up in protecting their relationship that he hadn't realized how strong it already was. You're right, he admitted, a small smile tugging at the corners of his lips. I was overthinking it. Rhea chuckled, nudging him playfully. You? Overthink? Never. They both laughed, the tension between them dissipating like a fog lifting in the morning sun. It was in that moment that Dominik realized just how much Rhea meant to him. She wasn't just his teammate or his friend, she was someone he could trust, someone who understood him in a way no one else did. As they sat there, side by side, the world outside their locker room seemed to fade away. The rumors, the whispers, the silly nickname, it all felt so insignificant compared to what they had. Dominik knew that whatever challenges lay ahead, they would face them together. Dom and Mommy, Rhea mused, shaking her head with a grin. You know, it's kind of growing on me. Dominik rolled his eyes, but he couldn't help but laugh. Only you could make it sound cool. That's because we are cool, she replied with a wink. And no name's gonna change that. With that, they stood up, ready to face whatever came next. The world could keep talking, keep guessing, keep labeling them. But as long as they had each other, Dominik knew they would be just fine. As they walked out of the locker room together, Dominik felt a renewed sense of confidence. He didn't need to worry about breaking Rhea's heart, because what they had was stronger than any stupid name. It was real, it was unbreakable, and it was theirs.